Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome uh, to this real-time review of the Dirt Sprint Car Tire. I have not touched these cars. I just now sat down. I the last couple days leading up to the build, I've been waking up at like 2 a.m. and testing. Since we have the Asphalt Insider stuff coming out this next week, I've been preparing for that this last season, and then iRacing dropped a bombshell saying, "Hey, we're going to be putting the next gen shocks on the other cars, and we're changing the tires on every other asphalt car." And so I've literally spent the last, like, I don't know, 2.5 days. I probably tested the next gen car close to 24 hours in the last 2 days alone. And so I was just waiting for this update, and I got back. I tested all morning, got back after taking the kids to school, and when I got back, this thing was still going. Like, I went to the gym and everything, and this thing's still been going. So I've been painting the house, trying to get that done. I literally just finished and walked in, and this thing just came up. And so I was like, you know what, I have a ton of, because I'm going to be reviewing all the asphalt stuff this week as well. I was like, I'm going to do this live because I haven't touched this car. I haven't driven it, nothing, since the update. Those of you guys who've seen my live streams, you guys know I've hardly driven the sprint cars at all. If it wasn't for NARC, I wouldn't touch these damn things anymore. Okay, so I was just done with these cars, and I used to love them. I really did. The sprint cars built SSR. Okay, like, they really did. I loved these cars. They were a lot of fun. Ever since we started getting new tire models and stuff, these things have felt lifeless to me, and I've just been I just hated them. Really hated them. I've just lost all interest in them. Now I'm hoping this is going to renew that interest, and so you guys are going to see what I mean, literally in real time, how I'm gonna put this thing through the ringer. And I'm doing this live for a couple reasons. Number one, it saves me time because I have a bunch more stuff I have to do today. I still got to record my podcast for this week. We've got night 2 of the Triple Crown coming up tonight. I got to test myself because I haven't even been testing dirt, and I'm racing tonight, so I don't want to look like a clown. So I have a lot of stuff I got to do. So I'm doing it live for that reason. But also, number 2 is I have, every time we get something new or something changed, a new car or whatever, the best example of this was the big block modifieds. When I put out a video after them that said, you know, improve your lap time by a second or whatever it was, I had a ton of people saying, how did you figure that out, right? How was it that you figured out to go slower in those cars, use less throttle, and that actually makes you faster? Well, I have a process for doing that stuff. It's quite lengthy, right? But I have a process for doing it. So I'm going to show you guys how I figure stuff out on things like this, because from what I've heard, I've only heard a couple of things, basically, that they're interesting. That's all. That's what you guys have been saying. And Shay just said all the iRacing default setups are the old ones. Oh, okay. So maybe the setups will still work. Oh, okay, sweet. So we're gonna do the wing and the non-wing, because I gotta be honest, I'm really looking forward to the non-wing. Now, I haven't checked the notes, so I'm doing that right now. So tire construction parameters and tread pattern have been updated. The tread pattern is a big one. That was a really big one on the midget. I believe that the tread pattern, the first go around with the midget, is why the car had 0 forward drive. So the tire felt better on the side bite, but going forward, it sucked, right? We were running like 15 gallons of fuel at qualifying to get the thing to drive forward. And I think the tread pattern had a lot to do with that. So I'm going to be interested to see how that is. Collision parameters, whatever. Banish the... Oh, they got rid of the drone flying over the cars. Okay. And then the setups have been updated. Now, the non-wing, they actually changed the center of gravity raised slightly. That's huge. So if you change this, understand, when you start messing with roll centers and center of gravity and stuff like that, you're talking about it's a big deal. So this is going to be interesting. When they changed the center of gravity on the UMP mods, everybody hated it. Like, nobody liked that car. Now, they did a bunch more. They made those things feel like a leaf spring car, kind of. But it'll be interesting to see with that. Also, the rear suspension geometry has been adjusted. That one I really want to see, because there was a couple of things that were driving me nuts about the non-wing sprint cars, because it's basically like they took a wing sprint car, took the wing off of it, and then like changed how high they sat. Like, that's what it seemed like. It still was better than the wing car in terms of fun, but that was kind of the feeling of it. So it's gonna be all right. So let's do this. The first thing I gotta do is I gotta bust out my trusty telemetry tool, and I gotta find my sprint car workbook, because it's been a long time since I've actually used that damn thing. Get up the MU. Okay, so let's go to I'm just gonna do a oops, hold on. I forgot I was doing asphalt, so I need to put that back to default. Can I make my voice a little louder? Yes, I can. Is my fan drowning it out? Is that better? My son was in here playing with stuff, man. So freaking kid. Let me know if that's better. Okay, so default weather. We're not doing that car. Let's do the 360 just because that was the most lifeless dirt car on the planet. The 410 at least had a little bit more power. Let's do the 360 because that's the one that everyone's going to be messing with. And let's go to my favorite track. Bet you didn't know I was going to pick Charlotte, huh, Greg? I'm going to go clean, and I'm going to go afternoon. Just because I want to see what the drive is like on a tacky track. Dirt racing, I'm with you on the sprint car. I don't want the car to drive different. I want the car to feel different. That's what I want. I shouldn't say I don't want it to drive different. I do want it to drive different a little bit. There is a huge difference, right? And we can talk about sim and stuff like that all day long. But at the end of the day, iRacing, the whole point of it, right, is to be a sim. We're trying to get it as close to real life as possible. Of course, it's never going to be like real life because it's just not. It's just not. But when we look at, you know, how a sprint car goes in real life compared to how it was in the sim, okay? There is a huge difference between getting to full throttle and holding it wide open, okay? Like, those are two different things. Wide open and holding it wide open the whole way around a quarter-mile track, right, is ridiculous, okay? Like, Silver Dollar Speedway, where I'm at, like, it's like 35 minutes away. It's a high bank quarter mile. It is a fast freaking quarter mile. They're not holding it wide open around that track in a 410 freaking sprint car. They're not, right? They might get to wide open. They're not holding it wide open. So that was the biggest thing that I wanted. Because when the track was tacky, it was like, hey, sweet, we get to all follow each other like we're at Talladega. Yay. Like, that's how it was. You know what I mean? It's just boring. So at least that was my opinion of it. Okay? Like I said, I have gotten really jaded with this car. So non-wing is incredible. And see, Ryland, that's the car that I'm looking forward to, is the non-wing. Okay, so I'm going to literally just throw up. I'm not even going to throw up a setup. I'm going to just do one right here because I know a Charlotte set up like the back of my hand. We'll throw up Old Faithful and just jack the front end up and keep it really simple. Actually, we'll go just thousands. And we'll take the turns out. And let's go 39, straight 5, right? The old straight up basic Simmelman freaking setup, right? Like, that's basically what it is. So, let's go with the 50, god dang, am I remembering? 55? I think 55 is the qualifying gear at Charlotte. 55 or 49. Let's go 55 so we can see what the wheel spin is like. If there is any wheel spin. We're just going to name this Charlotte Test. I'm surprised I didn't have one already named that. All right. And I've got Motec up. Okay. So let's bring the chat up real quick. Drove a little at Lernerville in the 360. Tad tight with the setup that I loaded, but I'm liking it. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm literally going to drive this thing exactly the way that we always did before. I don't care about the lap times. Damage model healing enabled. Do I know what that is? Do we know what that is? Damage model healing? What's healing? We've never really had a damage model, have we? Haven't our damage model always been crap? Like, like we don't have a damage model? It's, you get hit and then you... Oh, crap. I gotta calibrate my pedals real quick. One sec. I was barely pushing it and it was going wide open. For some reason, I don't know why this IRFFB sometimes I have to recalibrate my pedals. I don't know why. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, damage model healing. Okay, whatever. I guess we're healing the damage model. Sweet. Okay, I can already tell right now, just by the chatter of it, that the car's got more action to it. And that doesn't even take much. Yeah, I can already tell. Hold on, I gotta turn my butt kicker on. Because I want to see if I can actually feel this. It's definitely got more action. Let's see if it actually translates to anything. .305s are faster. Oh, you'll crash and it will heal. Oh, okay. Oh, well, I usually test with, maybe that's because I test with damage off. I usually turn the damage off when I'm testing, because I, like, run it on the ragged edge and I want to try to break the car as many times as possible. Alright. So the tires definitely got more life to it, because my butt kicker is, I'm using my default sprint car settings on my butt kicker. And I can feel it a lot more. Now I'm just trying to run this thing wide open right here, just kind of through the middle towards the bottom. Because I want to see the wheel slip numbers on this. And the gear on it. I gotta be honest, it almost sounds like it could use some more gear. When I mean like more RPMs. All right. All right, so it definitely has more bite to it. Now the next thing I want to test on the Tacky track is, and before I do that, I want to get this data loading up because it takes a while for the first one. I want to try the tire pressures. And we're just going to go min tire pressures on it. So it used to be before, if you actually lowered your tire pressures, it felt like you were on a sponge. So let's see if that actually does anything. I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm just going to hold it wide open and go through the middle, but I want to just see if there's a difference in the numbers. That's definitely more, it definitely got more snap to it. I can feel the car's like really on the left rear with that left rear so low. I mean, it's at 4 pounds, so. This thing's bogging. It should not be bogging with the 555 gear. Did I not put the right gear in it? Like, oh. Definitely felt that left rear catch there. Do you think these changes affect IRFFB settings? Yeah, it could be. I know that the IRFFB settings that I am using right now are the ones that I've always been using on the sprint car, and they still feel pretty good, but I haven't had time to really dive into it. I do know that there are, I mean, because of the fact that we've got different IRFFB settings for every car, or at least I run different settings on every car, I would imagine that it would probably apply. It might not be huge, but a little bit. My IRFFB settings did change when the midget went to the new tire model, you know, from the first version to the second to the third or whatever the hell number we're on now. So I could see it having a little bit of an effect. Mostly the biggest change for me with the midget was the SOP effect. I almost took almost all the SOP effect out of it. So, okay, so we got our last two Charlotte Dirts here. At least I think I grabbed them. I thought I did more laps than that. Or did I not? Was I just sitting around? I can't remember. How many times did I press that damn button? Oh yeah, that was it. Okay, so let's bring this over. Let's look at this real quick. First thing I wanted to see was where is my acceleration? There it is. So the first run, the colored is, yeah, so colored is with full pressures in the back, white is min pressures. I can tell you right now we need more gear. I know 89 was the max. It doesn't seem right though. That it didn't sound right. It didn't feel. Did they change something with the audio? I don't know. I'll have to look more into that. Okay. All right. So wheel slip did go down by 2 miles per hour with the lower pressures. Traction efficiency went up 1%. 1% is actually, I mean, that's outside the margin of error. So that is a legitimate number. Side bite. Let me see. Where's my dynamic side bite though? Car dynamics. I need. Oh no, dynamic loads and bite. That's what I mean. Wow, that's gone up a ton. A ton. A lot. Like a whole lot. Almost to the point that can't be right. Whoa. Okay, so there's almost a 50-pound change in forward bite with the tire pressures and a 15-pound change on side bite with the pressures. So less pressure, more side bite, more pressure, more forward bite. Obviously, it's only a couple laps at Charlotte. You know, it's one track. I would need to test it more. But that's something to keep an eye on. Wow, that's pretty interesting. All right, downforce. Where are we at for our downforce numbers? That all looks the same. The tires haven't affected that any. Okay, so the other thing is that I heard was the wing. Right? No new tracks this time. Well, the asphalt tracks, but none for dirt. Okay, so the other thing was the wing, right? Who said that? Move it back and the car's faster. Okay, so I want to try that next. But we need to put the pressures back. I want to put the pressures back. Alright, so after this test, I'm going to go to a pre-gen track, just a slick track. I know it's pre-gen, but if the tire has grip on pre-gen slick, then it should be good on dynamic slick. Because before it was like you just hit black ice. Whoa. Well, she's definitely tight. Got more drive to it, feels like. The car's really tight. I wouldn't want to drive it like this, but... Yeah, John, I'll be in the wing car some more. We actually got some, I haven't told Shay yet, so Shay doesn't know. We actually got a couple of changes coming too. There you go, right there. With the wing back, I was a tenth of a second faster than my fastest lap before. That's interesting. Now look, there is 100% possibility that I don't have something in this, that we're missing something in the setup, and the wing is compensating for that. I'm going to cross my fingers and hold out hope for that. If we have to drive on a tacky track with the wing back, I can tell you right now, I won't be back in the sprint cars. I just won't, because that's going to suck. What are you going to do when the track slicks off? You're going to move it forward? Like, I mean, what are you going to do? So, that is something to definitely keep, that I'm going to have to do a lot more testing on. Son of a gun, that sucked. Okay, let me do one more thing here. Let me get rid of that crap. Let me go with a little bit more. Nah, 12.5 would be good here. I would probably go. Let's go turn in, turn out, 50 in, and 1 there. Whoa, I just noticed that. The crossweight's 44%? That's not how it was before, right? There's no way. Hold on. Shay, where's your 45.2? 46.9 was the starting crossweight on this setup. That's a big change. So 45.2, and it was at 46.9. So we're missing a lot of drive off the left rear. We've got more on the right rear. I'm gonna have to play with that more. Okay, now let's... Oh man, I don't want to do that. Now I gotta find that stupid setup that I just have. Charlotte test, there it is. Alright, let's actually put a... I'm gonna put an actual real world setup on here. At least it was a long time ago, back when I turned wrenches on these things. Let's see how it does. This is something similar to what we would run at Charlotte. I've never been to Charlotte, but it would be close to this. Straight 5. Probably as tacky as this is. We'd go 5.445 on the front shocks. I know now they don't even use valving numbers. It's all, and we'd go turn in, turn out. Probably something like that. All right, let's see how close this is. The crossweights are all lower, and the car is about 1/3 of an inch higher. I wonder if they... Well, if the tire is anything like the other cars, that means that the sidewall is going to be stiffer, so that's going to raise the car up. That makes me wonder if we're going to just see more people. Right, what are we going to do? Go to -4 now on the torsion stops? Is that what we got to do in the back? Go to -4? I gotta say, it's actually kind of nice to have something, though, where you go into the corner and it turns, and you don't just, like, slide like you're sliding. Like, this setup actually feels pretty good. I actually like the way that felt. I don't know if it's any faster. There's not any new dirt tracks coming fixed. I know that they're supposed to be doing, so 13.4, 13.4, 13.3. It's still a tenth off. All right, I'm going to have to dig into that, because that's going to drive me nuts. If I have to drive with my wing at -10 to qualify, look, in real life, you move the wing back. You absolutely do. You don't move it to -10 when it's tacky. That's nuts. Oh, so I test Blake with damage off, because I usually will be testing, and I don't want to keep having to get a new car if I'm trying to practice like on the cushion or something. And I guess it's damage healing. So if you break the car, then it will fix itself, I guess. So basically it's damage off, but now they just call it healing. Let's turn it up to 100%. Let's see what we got here. Or let me see. I don't know if I want to do Charlotte. Yeah, I do. Ryland, you still have your non-wing test going? You can run the berm at Knoxville without it shooting you off. The left front will run on the berm. Oh, nice. Well, that's good. You know how many times I had that damn, hit that berm with my left front and have it shoot me up the track? Yeah, you're faster with the wing all the way back, at least in the stuff that I've found so far, yeah. Chow for God, we were drinking out would power the sprint cars. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually leave the. I'm just gonna put some more fuel in it. I'm gonna leave the tacky setup on here just to see how. Make sure the wing's forward. Just to see how much of the how much grip the tire has by itself, without the wing, without the setup or anything like that. I just want to test the tire, see how it feels. Obviously, the bottom is still tacky, so we'll go up here to the slick. Wow, that's pretty nice. I can drive through the slick at 75% throttle, and it's not like I'm hitting ice. And this is pre-gen. You still got to catch it, but... Yeah, I mean, I would probably want to take some stagger out, maybe move the right rear end because the car's snapping, but... It's not like you hit ice. So either they made the pre-gen more tacky, which I don't think they did, or the tire actually has grip. That's... I gotta admit, that's good. I'm pretty happy about it. There's a couple of things that I'm not a fan of. If that wing thing holds true, that's gonna kind of suck. I will say this, though. iRacing was pretty quick to fix the midget. When you actually consider, you know... Now, the midget was horrible. But when you actually consider the problem, like, you know, they fixed it fairly quickly. They really did. So... I wouldn't be surprised if this holds out. I wouldn't be surprised to see a patch fix this. 100% throttle is still the way to go. Dragging, brake, or lifting is a little bit slower. I don't think you're ever going to get rid of that with these cars. I don't. But I will say this. You can feel the track, right? You can actually feel the car, you can feel the tire. That's a huge improvement. The car doesn't hit the slick and immediately snap like you're hitting black ice, okay? So that's a huge improvement. Just those two things alone, I'll take, right? Like, I'll take it. Now, are you going to be seeing me in every winged sprint car official again? Probably not, right? But, I mean, those things, like, it has me at least enthused about it, okay? Like, I'll say that. Because, look, I was done with these cars. Last night, we ran the Triple Crown. Night 1 of the Triple Crown. Night 2 is tonight. Last night, we were running the 410 sprint cars. I'm putting on the event, right? NARC and SSR are putting it on with PRO and DSRL. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to run the sprint cars. I would rather admin than race. That's how done I have been with these wing sprint cars. That I would choose adminning over racing, right? I mean, even though I was still going to have to admin even if I was racing, But I would rather just sit there in admin than actually race those damn wing sprint cars. Now I would actually want to drive the car. So it is an improvement. I will say that it's definitely an improvement. Yeah, they got to fix the aero. They do. They need to fix that. I really wish iRacing, what is there? There's only like 6 of them or something, right, that work at iRacing. If any of you guys need a tester, please find my application that I filled out. I'll gladly test your aero for you. I'll show you the data. Like, just stop putting out this stuff that's wrong. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. I actually think it can be fixed potentially with different stuff in the setup, but I'm gonna have to really dive into it. And I honestly don't know. And Shay, get on it, man. Start testing. Send me your data. I already told everybody. I was like, look, record your data, send it to me. Let me analyze it in the Motec. Okay, so the wing car, I will give that on a scale of 1 to 10. Look, I will give that I'll give that a 6.5. I'm happy with that. I really am. They didn't break the car. Yes, you got to have the wing back, at least as far as we know right now. Maybe there's something where you can actually increase the angle and it helps. I don't know. We didn't test that. But, maybe there's a combination of different bars or different shocks and different tire pressures. Who knows, right? I mean, we did not test a whole lot. But overall, the car has much better grip. You can feel it in the track. It's a huge, huge improvement. Huge improvement over what it was. The one thing is the wing. They got to get the aero fixed. The aero is very, very complex. I understand how they might not have gotten that right, but at the same time, it kind of upsets me that they've had all this time and they put it out, and if it's not right, you know what I mean? If the aero's not correct, why'd you put it out like that? That should have been caught by somebody. You know what I mean? Like, how long did it take us to figure that out? Right? I know Shay figured it out, like, immediately. I know, Wade, who told you? Logan Rumsey? You think if Logan Rumsey knows, like, I promise right now, every other pro figured it out within 5 minutes, right? Like, that was probably one of the first things they tested. Oh, new tire? Other tires haven't had grip. Let me try moving the wing back, right? Like, it should have been caught like that. In my opinion, okay? But, look, I don't build iRacing, okay? And I've said it before. We love to complain. Overall, I think it's good. I think it's definitely more than a step in the right direction. Knowing iRacing, they will fix the aero. Don't know when, but it will be better than it is now. So, overall, I'm happy with it. I really am. All right, the next thing I want to do is the non-wing. Rylan, are you still doing... Didn't you have a hosted session up or no? Haha, you did at Kokomo. That a boy. Let's go run. This is the one I've been looking forward to. Oh. Yeah, that does sound like they got the algorithm backwards. So when you calculate, so when I'm calculating aerodynamics, okay, when I'm calculating on the wing sprint car, because the wing sprint car is a little bit different than like when I'm calculating it on the next gen cup car, okay, but when you're calculating it, okay, if we look at the aero maths here, all right, you need to calculate the lift coefficients for the center foil. You also need to calculate that for the side panels, right? Because you've got those as well. Because you have downforce not only sucking the car, because the center foil of the wing is essentially, if you took an airplane wing and flipped it upside down, that's what the center foil is. On an airplane, it's designed to create lift. On a sprint car, it's designed to suck it down, right? So to measure that, right, you got to have the lift coefficient. You've got to have the angles and everything. You got to have the basically the gyro roll and pitch, because that affects the car as well. And so these formulas right here, these four, as you can see, that's just to calculate the aerodynamics at speed on one part of the wing, right? All of this is aero calculations for the wing. Now imagine simulating that. That's where you know, if they got that backwards or something, I could understand it. All right, hold on. Let me take a look at the track real quick. How slick's the track? How long you guys been running? Who's on the track right now? Oh, it's still pretty tacky. Okay. So let's just... Actually, you know what? I'm going to build a set right now on this too. Let's just go... Let me see. Kokomo would be probably 12 inches. Move the right rear wheel out. Increase your right rear wheel spacing. Probably 4.6, and let's go straight 5 on that. 5.4. Let's move that out. Move that in. All right, this will actually be the real test. If this thing needs to be tied down, and oh, see, they changed the crossfit on this one too. Oh wow. Actually, let's flatten those out. I want to leave the turns alone right now. Let's just test it like this. Let's just see how the suspension feels. Oh. God dang.
Full car down low.
Whoa!
Car stops down low. Go high.
Okay. You're good, Wade. Yeah, it just means damage model healing, guys. That's all it means.
Oh man, we got one stopped up ahead. Car stopped ahead. Go high. We have a slow car up high.
Oh, this is awesome. I love it. I mean, my car is really, really loose, but wow, that thing actually catches. Oh my god, that's incredible. What are we doing with why are we doing a World of Outlaws Wing Pro Series? We need to bring back the non-wing. These things are awesome. Do we have not? Yeah, Anthony, we have non-wing sets. We have free ones. We also have insider non-wing sets. I only do the 360 non-wings because those are the only ones that ever make official. The 410s like never do, and so I just don't build them. But definitely got too much stagger. But yeah, we have all kinds of sets, man. All kinds of sets. You know, the wing cars, I don't think it's gonna take much to figure out the wing setups, which I'm glad I don't have to do anymore. Thank you, Shay. But the non-wing ones, these things, all those years, you know, we've been doing all that, basically a bunch of tomfoolery to get side bite out of these cars, and now it actually has it.
Got a car stopped up high. Go low.
God, that feels so much better. I'm gonna have to learn how to drive these cars all over again. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to learn how to drive these things again. I can tell you right now, that feels so much better. Oh my god, it's not even funny how much better that feels. I'm gonna just grab the iRacing setup though right now, for Kokomo. What do they got? I don't need 15 gallons of fuel. We'll take that out. They've got a 549 with a 6.7 right rear shock. That's interesting. Well, let's try it and see. maybe that's what you need to do to be fast in these things. Is it all wings and wingless? Yeah. Nothing for the other cars. Other than they fixed kind of like the parameters for other cars, like basically netcode stuff, from my understanding of it.
Car stopped ahead.
God, this feels worse than the other setup I had, but that's okay. You can actually drive this thing with the throttle now. I mean, you had to before, but it just... God, it has grip. I don't know how else to say it. It just has grip. That 100 times better. Yeah, week 1 of the Insider sets will be out next week. Both dirt and pavement. The dirt and the pavement start next week. I'm not 100% sure on all the pavement stuff that we'll be doing. But I know we will at least be doing the short track stuff. I'm also going to try to do the NASCAR cars as well. I'm going to actually... you know what? To be honest, the slick, I can't really tell you how much better the slick feels because the tire feels so much better. So that's the thing. What I'm going to have to do to test the slick is I'm going to have to test the slick with like the late model or the big block or something. Because the sprint car tire has got so much more grip, I can't tell you if it's the sprint car tire or the track itself, if that makes sense. So, hey, what's up, Scott? So, to test the actual slick on the track, I'm going to do that with the other cars. Probably the super late model and big block. I'll do it with both of those to test it. Because I have a lot of data, and I can compare straight across, you know, hey, this is what it was like through the slick, and this is what... Because I take data for everything. And so I'll be able to measure the grip levels in the track. So, I'm going to do that sometime this week. But, yeah, just because, like I said, I got so much stuff to do. With iRacing, as soon as I'm done with this, and we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes, I got to get over and start testing the Xfinity and the trucks because they've got the new shocks on there. If I could snap my fingers and get just one more thing for dirt, it would be the shocks from the next gen car. Because that's what they run on the dirt cars now. These cars don't run a 2.9, right? Like those days are long gone. They run adjustable shocks that are high speed and low speed, man. That's how you really get these things to drive the way that they drive now. That would be one thing that I would want. That would be amazing. But overall, man, it feels really good. I like the cars. You know, the non-wing, hats off. I give it a 9.5. I mean, I really do. It feels great. It feels so good. Like I said, I'm gonna have to learn how to drive it again. I really am, because the car's got so much more grip. The stuff that we did to get grip out of the car, to get side bite out of the car, was laughable. We would run reverse split with a tie-down shock on the right rear and an easy-up shock on the left rear. If you were to do that on a non-wing sprint car in real life, if I threw that setup when we were running non-wing sprint cars on my driver's car, he would have thought I was trying to kill him. Like, he would have been like, dude, are you trying to kill me? You trying to get me to flip it out of the park? But that's what we would have to do to get these things to bite. So, the fact that they bite now is awesome. I can't wait for NARC next week. I can't wait for it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, but tonight, we'll get to test the slick out tonight, and tomorrow night. Well, I mean, obviously from now on, but tonight we've got the Triple Crown Night 2 for that event that we're doing, and we're running big blocks at Lernerville. Tomorrow night, we're running super late models at Lernerville. So those will be 2 really good tests. We had 50 cars last night. I'm expecting to have somewhere around the same again tonight. So, should be fun, and we should have a pretty good idea of what the slick is like pretty early on in the night. I'd say probably second or third heat. So, and I'm going to live stream tonight the race. So, yeah, we do, Justin. The late models really need, they do. They need that. It would be nice if we could get that. Unfortunately, I think we're quite a ways away from that on the dirt side. But I gotta say, man, the last year has really been a really good sign in iRacing. If you look at where we were at the start of the year, right, compared to where we're at now on dirt, just on dirt, if you look at just the way the cars drove, the tire models, the stuff that we were doing to them, to the things that we're doing now to them, and how you have to drive them, and the way that they feel, and the way that the track has improved and stuff like that, it's really been it's been amazing. It really has. You know, we love to, like I said before, we love to complain about stuff, but if you look at what, I mean, their biggest misstep was the dirt midget. The first time they tried to do the tire model on the dirt midget, that was not good. But they fixed it. I love the dirt midgets now. I think they're incredible. And I like the sprint cars again. So I think they've done a lot of good stuff this year, and I think it's gonna get even better. I wouldn't be surprised to see more stuff on the cars in the next year or two. I really wouldn't. I would not be shocked to see something like like you're talking about, the lower bar angles, to see four-way adjustable shocks on the late models and on the sprint cars, and stuff like that. That wouldn't surprise me. I really think that stuff will happen, because you've got the people to do it, in terms of the incentive to do it is there, right? In terms of people, like I would pay for a new sprint car. If iRacing came out and said, hey, we just built a brand new model of the sprint car, and it's got the new adjustable shocks on and stuff like this, but because it's so different, you got to buy it. I'd buy it. I absolutely would buy it. I would buy the new updated versions of the cars, okay? I would. Now, I'm in a little bit of a different situation, right? Because this is now my job, so, I can use that as a tax write-off. Not everybody can, but I can tell you right now, even before I was doing SSR, I would still have paid for it again. Feed Guy, it's good, man. I really like it. It's good. I gotta admit, it's nice. I dig it. It feels really, really good. It does. The wing sprint car, there's one thing about the wing sprint car that I'm not a big fan of. You got to move the wing all the way back to be at its fastest. And according to Shay, and Shay's been doing a lot of testing, apparently, he said so far everything that he's tested, that's the way. 24 and all the way back is fast. That's the fastest. So that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, everything that they've done, it feels really, really good. I gotta admit, I like it a lot. I really do. It feels nice. So, yeah, that is my review of the sprint car. Yeah, feels really good. I enjoy it a lot, and I think iRacing did a good job. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, you guys. I am going to now. I got a bunch of asphalt stuff to do. You know what I'm probably gonna do? I can't do it today though. I'll do it tomorrow. So one of the things, I've had a lot of people ask me this. A lot of people have actually asked me, like, hey, why don't you start live streaming during the day? And that's something I've always thought about doing. And I've actually had a lot of, if you look at my numbers, it would be like, oh yeah, I should live stream during the day, right? My live stream numbers are usually much better during the day than at night. And so I'm going to actually start doing live streams during the day, daytime live streams during the week. There we go. At least once a week, I'm going to start doing that. And it'll probably be this day. It'll probably be Tuesdays, or no, wait a second. Today's Wednesday. Wednesdays. It'll probably be Wednesdays. So next week, be on the lookout for that. Wait, is there going to be a new sprint car? No. There's not going to be a new sprint car, Jacob. No, there's not. I was just saying, I don't know how much of that conversation you caught. I was just saying that if they were to build a new version of, update the version of the sprint car, that is something that I would pay money for. That's all I was saying. There's not going to be a new version of the sprint car. At least iRacing has said nothing about that. I wouldn't expect there to be one. if you actually look at it, sprint cars haven't changed much over the last 20 years. I mean, the bodies have changed some. The chassis are different somewhat, but on a sim level, if they gave us a brand new version of if they were like, hey, it's 2120 or 2021 Maxim, most people would be like, I can't tell the difference. Most people wouldn't know. So I would actually rather them focus more on the physics and keep improving that stuff than give us something that looks cool. But that's just me. Yeah, accelerator, it is good. I got to tell you, I'm super excited about the asphalt side. I really am. I still love dirt. I absolutely love it. This next year, I've already been in talks with people for our own. There's nothing certain yet, but I want to do my own World Championship Series, Pro Series, whatever you want to call it. I would like to do something that would make what iRacing does look amateur. I think we can do it. I've been in talks of it for the dirt, and I love it. And it would be for dirt. It would be for the wing sprint cars. I love dirt. That's my first love. But I gotta admit, man, I've been loving the asphalt stuff. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm looking forward to messing with it. So yeah, Tim, the tire's great, man. I like it. They did a good job. So, but yeah, you guys, that's gonna do it. I gotta get to the boring side of testing now, which is turning a bunch of laps by myself and adjusting springs 50 pounds at a time and all that other boring stuff. So that'll do it, you guys. Thank you very much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be doing this again during the day at least once a week. So be on the lookout for that. Next week when I do it, we'll actually be racing. I have a lot more racing stuff that I'm doing now in terms of like actually racing in races, but besides just NARC. So that'll do it, you guys. Thank you very much. Until next time, as always, good luck, good racing.